Hi there, May. How are you tonight? Yes, sorry, I was on mute. Sorry about that. How are you doing? I am doing really good. The weather's great here in SoCal. It was cloudy, a little foggy. It was nice and chilly. It was around 60 degrees, I would say, which is why I'm wearing my little warm poncho here. The my favorite Alaskan Malamute. And yeah, And yeah, whenever you're ready, go ahead and send your donation. I think I got that just now. It is very cozy, actually. It actually is like the same like feeling as like those like plush blankets, which I like. Apparently, from the person that I bought it from, this is an Ecuadorian style poncho, which is different from the Mexican ones because the Mexican ones look more like they look more rough, which they're not my favorite. And when I saw that he had these Ecuadorian style, and I saw that the material, the fabric is like really soft and it feels like a blanket. Um, I just I was in love with it when I saw it. I was like, "Ooh, I want this one." And I see that you have a work question. It was hot here. Oh, that's right. You're in Northern California, right? It was hot here for a little bit for like a couple of weeks ago, a few days ago. Then it went back to being cold, which I love because I prefer the cold, right? It's always better for makeup as well. But yeah, today was great. What was like the temperature over there in Northern California? Okay, so May, you wanted to know if Tang, Cancer, how does she feel about after you called her out the other day, or at least today? I don't know when this was. I had to call her out because she kept trying to call me out, but she doesn't fact check, so it ends up always blowing up in her face. Okay, so we're going to be using the Fountain Tarot. I was called to use this deck. I wanted to use this one first, but when I read your question, I was like, ooh, I feel like the Fountain Tarot would work better for your reading. So let's go ahead and see what we have to say for you. I want to know How does she feel? How does Tang Cancer feel after you called her out? Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Alrighty, we're just gonna shuffle a few more times. Ooh, the fountain in reverse flew out. I'm gonna leave that right here. All right, 3 of Swords in reverse, of course. 9 of Coins in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, Strength reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, 3 of Wands reversed, the World reversed, 2 of Swords reversed, and 6 of Coins. I do think she feels a little resentful towards it, and I think you as well. I think you as well, you feel resentful towards her as well, but you kind of feel like it was a little bit like a tit for tat slash well deserved. You just feel like it's well deserved because you just felt like this wasn't really going to go well. This wasn't going in a positive direction. But at the same time, you are open to hearing an apology and possibly fixing the relationship work-wise. So I see that I see this tit for tat thing, kind of like this cat and mouse thing going on. Uh, and I see that you acknowledge that, and I see that you know that, which that's great. And the cards are telling you that you're open to hearing an apology, or you're open to seeing this turn around and turning into something positive, which I love. But the cards are telling me here as well that for her, I think part of her is thinking about maybe asking for a second chance, or to kind of I don't know why I want to say to give her a break, you know? And the cards are even telling me that she doesn't know what to think about this whole situation. I think she's going to try her best to meet you halfway more, and to be more in communication with you instead of jumping into conclusions and calling you out, to get all her facts straight. And from what I'm seeing here as well is I just feel like she's having this pessimistic moment where she's thinking to herself like, I just think that this isn't really going to last. I think part of her pessimism is telling her that there are going to be some times where it's going to be okay, but there are going to be times where you guys are still going to clash. But once you see things turning around, the cards are almost telling me that where at once you felt like it wasn't going to go anywhere, now all of a sudden you feel like, okay, now we can see this move into a positive direction. Whereas before, May, was feeling as if this was just going to head towards a dead end and it wasn't going to get any better. But to specify her feelings, well, like I said, there are moments where she feels like, from here on out, where she's going to feel like it's going to be okay, but then she still feels like you guys are still going to have moments where it's not going to be well. I'm going to go ahead and pull more cards for her emotions just to see more in depth, okay? Yeah, like she just feels like she messed it up. She feels like she messed things up with you, and that you kind of see her in a very negative light. And part of her kind of just doesn't want to take, and then part of her doesn't want to take full accountability, and she's trying to tell herself, well, maybe May is just being a narcissist, May is being unfair and fickle, and a diva, But the feeling that I get with that is like she doesn't want to take accountability. You know, when people don't want to take full accountability and instead they get mad at the person right in front of them for calling them out on their shit. That's what she's doing. Instead of taking full accountability and being like, okay, like I did that to myself. Like I'll take accountability right there. I don't even see that happening. I just see her kind of doing this thing where she's just trying to blame you right now. But then part of her is like thinking to herself, like, well, maybe this can be better, because I do see that part of her also in her thoughts. I see in her thoughts that she's planning to make it up to you, because I saw that in her thoughts that she wants to make it up to you. She wants a second chance with that hanged man in reverse. But then with her emotions, I mean, with her intentions, I do see that there are times where she does want to fix it. But then there are moments where she feels like, okay, but then there are times where I know that we're still going to continue to clash in the future. So it's like she wants to fix it, but she kind of predicts that you guys are still going to clash in the future. Does that make sense? So how does she feel about it? Well, she does want a second chance. She does want to fix it. She but then part of her predicts that you guys are going to be in the same predicament in the future, where you guys are going to get along but then have moments of clashing, but then getting along again and clashing. Like she feels like you guys are going to keep doing the back and forth. Um you get me? Do you have any other questions for me? Alrighty, May. Well, thank you so much for your donation, and it was nice seeing you today. It's been a little while. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you. Wailana, how are you, Wailana? I saw your donation. Thank you so much for your donation. Been a while. Haven't seen you here in a while. So hi, I, Wailana, want to know, what can I expect from this partnership with Ezekiel Gemini? Now, I want to know, is this a new relationship with Ezekiel? I don't think so. I think we've read about him before, right? Alrighty, it is new. Let's see. So we're going to use for your reading The Influence of the Angels Tarot by Jody Bajinsky Barbesi. So let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say for you, Wailana. What can you expect from your relationship with Zeke, Gemini? Well, Aries and Gemini should be astrologically compatible. So let's see how things will go. I think for this relationship, it's a good opportunity for you to practice discernment. So, the reason why I say that is because I think this might be a good time for you to keep your options open, or he might be keeping his options open. Okay. Also, from what I am seeing here, is that the thing about this Gemini person, Ezekiel, I think he is the type of person that just as quickly as he falls in love, he falls out of love. And honestly, if you want me to be honest, I think you would find happiness elsewhere. So the cards are telling me this is a good time for you to practice discernment. The cards are encouraging you to keep your options open, because I think you're going to find love, happiness, and especially if you're looking to have a family, because I have 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. Now, if you don't know how those images look like, give me a second. Trying to connect my microphone here. All right. So those cards, 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, both talk about ultimate happiness regarding family, traditional values sometimes, marriage, financial stability. I think you're going to find happiness somewhere else. So the cards are telling me this is a good time to practice discernment. Your advice is the Hanged Man. Your advice is to take a step back, observe the man, observe Ezekiel. And which I find so interesting, because the cards would have, I'm even curious to see why the cards want you to stay back and, be discerning with him, instead of just saying, well, just leave because you'll find something else, but the cards are saying take a step back, and maybe there's something here that you're going to observe that's going to be very key, very crucial. It's going to give you that light bulb moment, like, yeah, this is something worth noting. What is that? Why do we have the Hanged Man here? Why do we have the Hanged Man here? Why is she called to be discerning instead of just walking away and finding that somewhere else already? 5 of Cups in reverse. Because you're in love right now, or you really like the guy. And I think you are going to realize that your feelings aren't going to last very long. Just as how he falls quickly in love and falls out of love, you're going to do the same with him. You're going to fall out of love, or just lose interest the more you observe him. Interestingly enough. Any other questions, Wailana? Hi there, Evan. Thank you so much for coming in. No worries. Take your time. How will it end? All right, let's see. All right, let's see how this will end. All right. The thing is that you are all about working together. And you're a very vocal person. You speak your truth, you speak your mind. But he is a person that's easily anxious. He is a person who is easily stressed out. And that's something that I think you will find very frustrating And I think it would even cause like some, I don't even want to say emotional chaos, but it's going to cause a disruption from your emotional balance. I think you are someone that strives to want to keep yourself balanced and whole. And when someone disrupts your balance, your emotional balance, that's just a big no-no for a lot of people, right? And especially when you want to speak your truth, you want to make sure that you guys are in an even place, equal place. I think he is someone that has done a lot of healing, though. I think he's someone who has gone through a lot. I think even before you met him, he was a very angry person. I think before you met him, he wasn't very nice. And it wasn't because he's a narcissist or anything like that. I think he's just dealt with a lot. He's gone through a lot in his life. And if you haven't seen this pattern yet, you will in the future. But with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I'm kind of just seeing this thing where it's going to feel like a vicious cycle eventually, because you're not seeing things move forward. You're going to be speaking your truth. And instead of him complying and working with you, he's just going to get stressed out. And you're like, no, this is not what I want. I'm not bringing this up to stress you out or to burden you. I'm bringing this up so that we can be a successful relationship. And I see that being a big frustration for you. You're going to leave. You're going to find this a burden and you're just going to leave, because I just feel like this is going to cause just an imbalance of your emotions, your chakras, and everything you've been doing so far to keep yourself aligned emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And you're going to notice that this will just be a big disruption to that. And I think that's what's going to do it for you. Will it be he that will end it, or you? Might even be him due to the stress. But someone here is going to end it sooner than later. If you think this is going to last pretty long, it's probably not going to last very long. But the cards are telling me, watch him. Observe him, because there's something here that you need to observe. Is this like a lesson? Yes. Yes. This is to teach you that no one is worth losing your alignment. No one is worth losing your peace, your inner peace, your emotion. No one is worth any of that. Queen of Pentacles. No one's worth any of that. And I think he's here to teach you that. And you're going to learn that through being discerning, through seeing how he's going to cause this emotional chaos for you. So he's here to teach you that. And then once you feel like you got the lesson, you or him, which I see most likely him, will go away. Any other questions, Wailana? Well, thank you, Wailana, for coming in and asking a question. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like the live stream, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you. Hi, Wailana. You have 2 other questions. You are more than welcome to ask as many as you want. What is your next question, Wailana? What is the status of my son's dad's relationship? What's the status of my son's dad, Robert? Cancer. He has been MIA for 1 year now. Interesting. Last question, in all honesty, is the love I desire going to show up this lifetime, or has it already come and gone? Okay, so let's see for the first question. What's going on with baby daddy? Why hasn't he reached out? Why hasn't Robert Cancer reached out, at least to see his son? What's going on with that? Why hasn't he reached out? He feels like you guys have been unfair towards him. He does, in fact, want to come back and reach out, but he's still in hermit mode. Yeah, he's indecisive. Like, part of him wants to, part of him doesn't. So it's like he's going back and forth with that Two of Swords. He does want to end the silence, but then he goes back and forth. Okay. And also, what kind of feeds into that, like I said, is because he feels like life was unfair to him. You guys, or you at least, has been unfair to him. Anything else? I think he has been focused on his career as well. Not that it's any excuse whatsoever, but he is focused on himself. Anything else? I do see that he was actually very emotional during that time. So during this time that he was away, he was probably very depressed. He was most likely crying, getting over his emotional turmoil. He was having an emotional time. So I think he was emotional. I think he was depressed. I think he was doing a lot of crying, a lot of pity parties here. He felt like things were unfair. He was very much focused on his career, but he seems also at the same time, he does want to talk to you, but he seems to be going back and forth regarding talking to you or not, or coming back into contact with you guys, and all of that. Okay. Anything else? Another reason why? I think part of him wanted to also make this work. I think he wanted to build with you. And that's it. Interesting. Right. Well, at least he's still alive. But yeah, that's what the cards are saying. Playing the victim a little bit. He was kind of he was in his feelings a little bit. So I do see that he needed to take some time to get himself together, because it seems like he was having an emotional time. He was definitely on his feelings. So let's see for the next question. Will you meet a lifetime partner, a lifetime romantic partner in this lifetime, in the future, before you pass away? Yes. And I do see there's going to be a moment where I think it's going to bruise your ego a little bit. I think, not having someone is going to get, it's going to mess with your confidence a little bit in the future. And I do see you feeling a bit depressed over not finding that person, although you are going to try your best in keeping yourself busy with work and career. I do see that you're trying your best to be open, to being yourself when you meet someone. I see that you're really a no bullshit gal from what I see here in the cards. You're not here to show a fake side of yourself to impress someone. I see that you want them to see the real you, so that you guys can so you can meet that person. And I do see in the near future, I do see this messing with your confidence and you being in a depressed state for a little bit. But I do think you will meet this person. Okay. This person hasn't come and gone just yet. Okay, you're gonna meet him. All right. Any other questions, Wailana? Well, you're very welcome, Wailana. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'm happy to hear that from you. And plus, we did see that in your earlier reading when we saw with Zeke, that I saw that you were going to find true love elsewhere. So that's double confirmation for you. Thank you so much, Wailana, for being here. Take care, blessed be, and I hope to see you again very soon. Hi, Valerie. I saw that you're here on my Instagram. If you're interested in getting a $5 reading, you're more than welcome to send a donation. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to do a private reading now. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I'll come in earlier tomorrow.